Hey everybody, this is Tom with The Board Gamer. Today we're going to do a quick overview and review for this game. If you want the full how to play, click this button up here or the link in the description. Now let's get into it. A Few Good Nights is a 2 to 4 player game for ages 14 and up with an average gameplay length of 30 to 90 minutes, published by All Night Games. In A Few Good Nights, players attempt to gain the most renown by gathering gold, mana, and complete item sets while avoiding damage and wounds. Gold and mana are earned by collecting sets of gems through rolling 7 adventure dice. The dice options are docile, danger, and deadly dice, which have increasing rewards as well as dangers. After 2 or 3 nights, depending on the game type, players will add together gold, mana, and item sets, then subtract wounds, and the player with the most renown wins. First off, I want to thank the folks over at All Night Games for sending me this prototype copy of this game. A Few Good Nights is a push your luck type game where you can decide how much of a risk you want to take. But you don't have to go into every roll unprepared, and if you equip the right items and potions, you can really go the distance. Also, if other nights have matching gem gamble cards to what you roll, it can benefit them as well, keeping all players engaged. But is this enough to carry you through 6 or even 9 rounds of play? Watch the rest of the review and find out what we thought of this prototype version of A Few Good Nights. Before I start talking about what's in this game, I want to reinforce that this is a prototype and some things may change. A main example of that are the player cards. We have the dry erase cards and the player pad. Both have pros and cons, and I think either will work for this game. The dry erase player card looks good and has a nice glossy finish, but like most dry erase type things, it does tend to gather a buildup of residue. The player pad is a bit more practical, but it does lose a bit of the flair the dry erase card has. But I think the fact that it will last longer is a better call in the long run. Moving on to the dice, which are the stars in my opinion. The iconography on them is very well done, and I especially like the color of the dice being very different from each other to very clearly know the danger level. The gem gamble cards and the potion cards are not crazy special, but the item cards really let you play the type of game you want, especially with each armor set having a different way to deal with dangers, from blocking to defending or just re-rolling. You have other items that help you hold more items, such as the mounts, and torches that help you reduce damage at night. The cards themselves are nothing special, but the ability and the combinations you can use to strategize your play are done well in my opinion. A Few Good Nights is very straightforward with its gameplay. You prep in the first half of your turn, and then you roll in the next half. There are a few different things you can do during your planning phase, and it can seem overwhelming. But just because you can do something doesn't mean you always should. Especially since gold and mana are not only used to purchase things, they can earn you renown in the end of the game. And if you are not prepared for the roll phase, you can't push your luck too much. At least not without being punished by the dice. And I don't know if it helps with the ease or just makes the game harder for new people, but at night, rewards and damage are doubled, which can help people catch up or take the lead, but with little player interaction, excluding boons which can force another player to reroll a die, or give a player a tracker goblin, guidance can be given if needed, since it doesn't hurt to help your fellow players, because the dice might be against them either way. Whenever rolling dice, luck is always going to be a major concern. But given that you can choose your dice, and the items can help you protect yourself, this game has a good balance of luck and strategy. I would almost argue the game has more strategy than luck, since you can use items and potions to reroll or defeat enemies. And you can pick your dice. If you don't have a lot of defense, you don't need to take big risk. But if you feel comfortable, you can take giant risk and possibly even be rewarded. Plus, nighttime gives you a chance to heal or skyrocket ahead with the increased rewards. But again, the increased rewards come with increased risk since things hit harder at night. These things will help you strategize and will help you mitigate the luck when you roll. Bottom line, the game is as strategic as you make it. But you can always just rely on luck if you think you're having a lucky day. After playing a few good nights, both quick and regular, in my opinion, the game plays best in the quick version. You start with a few things, including gold, and it gets you right into the action, allowing for bigger turn 1 plays and risk. And to be honest, after playing a regular length game, I was pretty set up before the start of the third day, so the last day was less impactful. That being said, when playing the quick game, I was ready to replay this game immediately after finishing. There's nothing wrong with the full game, but I had less of an urge to immediately replay it than when I was playing a quick game. The push your luck element of the game makes it a good game to replay often. And like I said earlier, the quick game lets you get into the action faster and ends before there's any risk of the game dragging, making you want to play it again even sooner. The theme for A Few Good Nights is that of knights going out into the wilds and collecting gems and equipment to defeat goblins or avoid damage from goblins. All gems are distilled into gold, and that is the main point system. You can gain extra points, or renown as the game calls it, from mana, equipment sets, and you can lose renown from coming back a little too beat up with wound tokens. Since most of this is written and not actual gold tokens you collect, which is good since you will constantly trade them out when buying items, but it does take you out of the theme a bit. But I think the practicality is better than the showmanship in this case, which is also why I like the pad more than the player card for this game anyway. All in all, this can be a quick fun game, or longer if you play the normal style, and it can be made more interesting with variants. Personally, the quick game works best for me, but you can find which style works best for you. This board gamer says, a few good nights is worth a few good playthroughs, whether it be dawn, dusk, or night. Not boring. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified about new videos. If you're bored now, click this for more games.